Peace everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Opemiha. So I wanted to get into something real quick that I did a video about when Africans would have first shown up in census records for the United States. So during that, in that video, someone left a comment that actually reminded me of something. That's a real important tool that you can use to search things. So kind of staying on that same topic about Africans being here in the United States and when they got here. I wanted to jump on FamilySearch, and they have a tool. It's kind of like an experimental tool. It's called, it's FamilySearch.org/labs. Okay, so in this particular part of FamilySearch, you can actually search full text, as you can see here on the screen. And basically what that means is, and I'll show you here, let me click to the next page here. So on this particular page here, when you get here, this over here will just say keywords, so you can type in anything you can think of. Now you also have the ability to type in any of your ancestors' names, and I messed around with that as well, and that's interesting thing that you can pull up as well. So what I wanted to do is one of our people who watched the video left a comment about this tool. And in the comment, they mentioned that they did see that African Negroes, do show up here. And basically what I wanted to do with this is I wanted to show you how this works, and that it actually does pull up these keywords. Now, keep in mind, with the keywords, it's looking for these two things. Okay, it's not looking for them together necessarily, but it's just looking for the word African and the word Negro. All right, so as you can see here on the side of the screen, what'll happen is you will get documents that FamilySearch has stored where people have gone in and they made it to where anything in the document you can actually search by putting in any of the words that show up in that document. So as you can imagine, you want to be, as specific as possible, as you can be. So off here to the side, as you can see, it's pulled up a lot of different documents over time with these keywords that are here on the screen. So I don't want to say it too much because I don't want to get the video flagged for, saying these words. So as you can see here on the side, you get a lot of different things. And a couple of things I wanted to point out. So this may be a long video. So please just, be patient with the process that I'm about to show you. So if you look here, there's going to be 200, I believe, 45 pages worth things with these two keywords in it. Okay. But the one thing that I did want to point out to you is that when you see the results pull up over here, don't just stop here with, oh, yeah, okay, I see it right here. That's the end of it. Actually click into the actual document so that you can read what it, you can read the context of what it's saying. Sometimes these little preview windows will just give you things and, people just go running off of what it says here, but you need to click each one of these documents so you can actually see what it's saying. Okay, so I'm going to do that with this first one, just so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. All right. So what happens when you click on that? What should happen here is you're going to get a document. It normally will tell you what these documents are. You can actually go through all the pages if you want. That's totally up to you. But what I like to do with this is I'll read what's here on the side, just so I can kind of see, what it is they're trying to transcribe. But then I'll go over here and look at the actual document and kind of read through it just to see, what it's talking about. Okay, so we're going to go back here, because the one thing that I did want to point out with this is some of the best information you're going to get are going to be on these like deeds, the wills, different things like that, to where people are obviously showing a difference between Africans and this other word that's on here. Okay, so I mean, they do distinguish and make a difference with these terms. All right, so we got a South Carolina, United States plantation, 1806 document. So let's see what that says. Let's see if we can get an example of what I was talking about. Okay, so again, when you zoom in on some of these things, you can see how the handwriting is. So, do your best as far as that goes. Are these things here on the side, the transcription is going to be perfect? Sometimes no, most cases yes. All right, so from our keywords that we search, you see they have them highlighted, and they try to give you the context of what it is it's saying here off to the side. So this particular one here, this is what it reads. It says, know all men by their presence, that I, John C. Kissington, in the parish of St. John in Berkeley County, South Carolina, planter for and in consideration of love and affection which I have for and bear 2 daughters, Caroline Olivia Ball and Martha Galene Ball, have given and granted, and by these presents do give and grant unto my said daughter, Caroline Oline, so that's one of his daughters, 2 Negro girls called Sally, daughter of Beck, and Cora, an African. All right, so that's our first instance where they are distinguishing between the two different kinds of people. All right, and it goes on to read, into my daughter Martha Angeline, 2 Negro girls called Di, sister of Sally, and daughter of Beck. So that was the young lady up here. And daughter of Beck, and Bed, an African, to have and to hold the said Negroes Sally and Cora, together with their issue and increase to my said daughter Carolina. Okay, you can go on and read the rest of that. But again, we have 2 instances here where we're getting a where they're differentiating between who's an African and who's a Negro. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out so that people have that context. Okay, so now I'm assuming that they're talking about Black Negroes and Black Africans. Now, these are this is what we hear, as far as someone being enslaved, being labeled. So could this African be someone of a different shade? Maybe, possibly, but doubtful. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out as well. All right, so let's go back. And there's many examples like that in here, but again, like I said, when you go through each one of these, just keep in mind it's going to take up your time. You got to read what's in these documents. Okay, you can't just go off of this right here because it's talking about people being of the African race, you know, and we do understand that, you know, not everyone is finding an African in their, you know, ancestry. So that's, you know, that's what we have to go off of. All right, so we have a Charleston, South Carolina, United States enslavement public 1804 document. Let's go ahead and click it. All right, so again, zoom in on these documents because they got them to where they're not too bad to read. Okay, so you can actually kind of, if you zoom in close enough, you can actually read these. And then over here to the side again, they're trying to transcribe what's being said over here. But sometimes, you know, a lot of times you need to read this to get the context of what this is saying. Okay, so it's very important that you look at both so that you understand what it is they're trying to say. So over here, we'll go ahead and get into this. Let's find a good starting place here. All right, so I guess I'll start from the top here. It says that I, John Potter, of the city of Charleston in the state, aforesaid merchant, for and in consideration of the sum of $650 to me in hand, paid at and before the sealing and delivering of these presents by Henry Bailey of the same place, attorney at law, the receipt whereof I do hereby acknowledge to have bargained and sold, and by these presents do bargain, sell, and deliver to the said Henry Baker 3 Negro slaves. Then it says, viz. John, an African, known by the country name of Wook. So John's an African. We got Leah, an African, known by country name of Gaba. And we got Isadi, an African, known by the country name of Beta, to have and hold the said Negro slaves. Okay, so we go over here to the actual document. You can see where it says what I just read, these people are being acknowledged as being Africans. All right, so you can clearly see that's what it says. All right, so I'm gonna back this off a little bit and we're gonna go down. All right, so here, where it's highlighted again, to have and hold said Negro smart, unto said William Flagg, his. All right, so again, we have someone listed as a Negro, and then we got people over here who are listed as Africans. All right, so there, like I said, there's a lot of these in here that are documented that way, and we're gonna try to go through some of them. So, you know, I don't want to rush this. All right, so again, click on these documents so you can actually see what these are saying. All right, let's see. So let's go ahead and check out this Tennessee will and see exactly what it is they're saying in this one. Okay, so again, you can zoom in on these. All right. Okay, so let's go over here. It says item, I will and bequeath my Negro boy Sam to my daughter Esther, her and her heirs forever. I will and bequeath my Mariah, late Negro girl, to my daughter Lucinda, her and her heirs forever. I will bequeath my Negro woman Sense to my daughter Esther, to her and her heirs forever. And it says, I will and bequeath my Negro woman Jane to my son Robert, to him and his heirs forever. I will and bequeath my African Negro, Sally, to my daughter Lucinda, to her and her heirs. So again, there's another example of these people making a difference between the Negro and the African. Okay, so again, this tool that I'm using is FamilySearch.org/labs, and this is their full text search tool. All right, so that was the Tennessee one. So we'll see if we can find some more here. And I think we might have read that one already, so I'm going to skip it. We were down here. All right. So again, with these like enslavement things, just a like a guide where they're just putting these words together. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's see. All right, so we'll go to page 2 here and see if we can find any more examples. All right, so like I said, mainly a lot of times you want to find these wills. So they'll find something interesting here with this Tennessee docket, will marriage 1845. So let's go ahead and click on that. I'm just waiting for the document to pull up, and we'll go ahead and jump into that here. So let's go ahead and blow the document up real quick here. And we will start here at this paragraph. So hopefully you guys can see this. It says Tennessee, Lincoln County. I, Colonel James Duff, of the State District, County, aforesaid, being in health of body and of sound and disposing mind and memory, do make this my last will and testament, in manner and form as follows. First, I will and bequeath all, in singular, my Negro slaves, both male and female, to the American Colonization Society, to be by them transported to the African colony of Liberia, to be forever free and independent. So for those who don't know, there was a time in history where they were doing a back to Africa movement, even before, you know, what you see today. So this is where the the American Colonization Society was sending people from here to Liberia to start up a colony there. So, you know, there were people that, you know, were made to go. There were people who volunteered to go because they thought that they were going to get to be free and have a better life, leaving their homeland here. All right, so I just wanted to show you guys that that document is also listed here. All right, so let's go back. So I'm telling you guys, this tool, it's a pretty good tool. So I'm just using African Negro, but you can type anything in here. You can type in just Negro. You can type in Indians, you know, whatever you want in there, it will search it and find it. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if we got anything else we can look at here. So I'm not holding you guys here all day. Let's see here. All right, so we will move on to page 3 real quick. All right, so we got another deed here. These are just deeds. And again, you know, jump into these and just, you know, read them. All right, so here's a will where if you jump into this, which we can do real quick. So again, it's going to give me anything with the word African and anything with this other word. All right, so document's taking its time to get on here. So this is basically going to be a will where you see where the person whose will it is divvying out different things. So let me zoom in real quick here. You can see where he is naming off, you know, all the different. So this is a Richland will. All right, so you can see all the different things, their price. So one Negro man, Peter, Negro boy, Arthur, a Negro boy, Ephraim. Let's see what we got on this side here. Let's back off a little bit. Here we got another Negro boy called, looks like Ned's, maybe. Or Els, I'm not sure. Yeah, Ned. Okay, so you can see where they're listing these people. Again, no last names. So it'll be really hard to figure out, you know, if this was one of your ancestors or not, just going off of this document. All right, so let's go back. And let's go ahead and look through this just a little bit more. Deeds. Okay, so let's check out this one here real quick. So I don't think we looked at this. So this is a Charleston, South Carolina, United States Enslavement Public, 1804. Let's click on that real quick. I don't think we looked at it, but we're gonna check it out real quick. Okay, so in this document, I'll start here. It says, present, do, bargain, sell, and deliver to said Peter Swan, a Negro wench named Mary Louise, aged about 29 years old, to have a new hold the said Negro wench Mary Louise. Okay, so let's scroll down a little bit here. And then we have presents, do, bargain, sell, and deliver to said Henry Bailey, a Negro woman slave called Grace, but of the African name of Saban, a man called Sam, but of the African name of Butu, and a Negro boy slave called George, but of the African name Cade. Okay, so let's go over here so we can get the full context of exactly what that's trying to say. So I'm gonna try to zoom this in the best I can. So this is what I just read, is right here. So Henry Bailey, a Negro woman slave called Grace, but of the African name of Saban, a man slave called Sam, but of the African name of Butu, and a Negro boy slave called George, but of the African name of Cage. All right, so again, in the same thing, we got the difference between people who are considered this and people who are considered Africans. All right. So again, I'm just trying to show you examples, which kind of was going into what I was saying on the last video about when they would have gotten here, but I just want people to see that they do make a distinction between the two in a lot of these writings. All right, so let's see if we can find anyone else. We might go one more page, so you know I'm not holding you here forever. All right, let's see. Okay, let's check out this will of 1818 and see if we what we can find. You know, so to me, I just use common sense. I'm like, okay, so if someone, why not just, if we're all African, why not just put these people down as African instead of differentiating them? And that would kill this whole argument. You know, we would be done and over with. We can just say everybody's African because, you know, all the documents historical are just saying we're all Africans and that's it. But in a lot of these writings, you got people's actual wills that are documented, and they're differentiating between who an African is and who this is. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at the actual document here. We'll zoom in. All right. So we'll start here at the top. In the name of God, amen. I, Deborah Scallon, being at this time of sound mind, do make this my last will and testament, revoking hereby all former wills and testaments. I give and bequeath to my friend Miss Eleanor Sarah Bonneau, my Negro woman Tira, with her 2 children, Abraham and George. I also give and bequeath to said Miss Eleanor Sarah Bonneau, my African Negro woman Fatima, together with 3 shares in the Bank of South Carolina. All right, so again, another example of how they differentiate between the two. All right. So, I mean, there was obviously something that they could tell, or that, you know, they knew the birth, or, you know, whatever the reason was, they were differentiating between the 2 people. Okay, so we read this one already. Let's see. There's any. Okay. All right, so we'll go one more page and then we'll go ahead and in the video. All right, so, but again, you know, I would recommend you go through, you know, all 245 pages, click into some of these so you can get the context of what it is they're saying in each one of these documents. All right, so let's see here. We can find anyone else here. Okay, let's check out this one here. It's Charleston, South Carolina, United States will. All right, so again, it's going to pull up here what it's trying to say over here. So that's why, you know, a lot of times I like to read straight from these documents themselves. All right, so I'm going to start over here. Okay, it says, and then to descend to my daughter Anne Lee Beckman and Mary Catherine Beckman. Thirdly, I give to my said wife Anne Beckman, 1 Negro woman named Mary, 1 Negro woman named Nanny, 1 Negro man named Isaac, 1 Negro man named Chance, also 4 shares in the Bank of the United States, also my funded stock of the United States, also 1 share in the Charleston Theater, also my household furniture of all denominations, beds and bedding, plate and plated wares, and my bookcase and all my books, and my chaise and horse forever. Then he goes in and says, fourthly, I give and bequeath to my daughter Anne Beckman 1 African-born Negro man named Isaac. All right, then we got 1 mulatto woman named Hagar, 1 Negro woman named Molly, and her son Alfred. Fifthly, I give and bequeath to my daughter Mary Catherine Beckman 1 young mulatto slave named Ned, 1 Negro man named Dick, and 1 Negro woman and her issue named Minda. All right. So again, we get another example of them making a difference between someone who is African and someone who is this other thing. All right. So again, there's plenty of examples of this throughout this whole thing, where you can see again here, all the different things. So like I keep telling you guys, click into this and don't just, go off of what it says here. Because when you click into these things, you can actually get the context of what it is they're trying to say over here. All right, like this as an example here. So they're calling these people Negro men, Negro boys. They're given their height, weight, the color of their skin. And then my issue here is that this is just automatically written in assuming that these people are of African descent, okay, without actually knowing where they truly come from. All right, so that's why you gotta, jump into this, read these actual documents and see exactly what it is that's trying to be said. All right, so that'll wrap it up for this part of the video. Like I said, real quick before we go, use these keywords here, and this is on FamilySearch.org/labs, and you want to use the full-text tool. So when you get there, it'll say expand your search with full text. And you just click on go to experiment. When you get there, you'll have keywords as an option and your ancestors as an option. Now, I would recommend, if you're looking for your actual people, put in their names if you know them, and put in where they would have lived during whatever time. The state you're in, the state you came from, or your people come from. Just put that information in. What'll happen is you'll get all kinds of stuff to pop up over here. So any kind of land patents that your people had will pop up. Any kind of deeds, wills, whatever, that's all gonna pop up, and it's gonna give you, when I did one of my ancestors, so this 245 thing pulls up. So keep in mind, it should bring up all the people with your ancestors' last name, so the surname. So you're gonna get a whole bunch of things about, the other people, other than the actual person you were searching that had the same surname. So if you're a Smith or Jones or Brown, so that's what I mean by you're gonna have to be real specific on the state that you're looking for, maybe even the county or the city. All right, so this is Opemiha. Appreciate everyone taking the time out to watch the videos, and we'll do it again on the next one. Y'all take care of yourself. Peace.